Hey, I cannot emphasize this enough. What we agree with, we empower. And what I mean by that is when whatever we're believing as our belief systems, if we're agreeing with fear, with anxiety, with pressure, with performance, we actually empower that into our situations. There's two situations that happened to me recently. One was more on a personal side. Actually, both of them were on a personal side, but it's a great example in our personal lives as well as in our businesses. I had a situation where somebody made some choices that normally their choices was going to bring a really negative effect in my life, just because I knew it was going to impact how they show up, and then what I'm going to have to cover or I'm going to have to do, and to make sure that everybody else doesn't have a negative effect because of this one person's choice. And so I'm starting to get frustrated because of their choices and get irritated. And I'm like, great, I can't believe they did this again. I'm going to have to step in. Yeah, I'm going to have to cover and make up for their choices. And I kept hearing the Lord say to me, Tim, do you want to give judgment and criticism, or do you want to give mercy and grace? And I'm like, God, what? I'm wrestling with this because I'm like, I'm frustrated with them, and I'm like mad, irritated that they're even chose to do this. And I felt like the Lord said, you have an invitation. What would you want in this situation? And I felt like the Lord said, to invite me into that process. And I said, okay, I would want mercy. I would want love. I would want love covers a multitude of sins. I'd want grace. And this was not something about accountability and responsibility. It was something else that the Lord was inviting me to. Tim, do you want to cover, or do you want to criticize and hold them account to what they did? And so I did. I shifted my perspective in my heart. I said, Lord, I just choose to trust you. I just release grace over them. And this next day was when we're going to face the consequences of their choices, and even how they show up and the things there. Well, the next day, where it could have gone horrific, there was such a grace. There's this peace. Everything went with ease. There was no negative outcome because of that person's choices. It was like everything just shifted. Number two example, I'm on a call, and we had a practical thing. We had a refrigerator that went bad, and we're calling to get a replacement or get refunded or get a service call. And I'm on the call with hours with the service call, and in the midst of this service call, I could feel the Lord say, you can get irritated because of the lack of quality of customer service, and just continue to fight for what's right and push and prove and make something happen. Or you can invite me and just declare the grace of God. What I agree with, I empower. Am I going to agree with frustration and pushing and I deserve and justice? Or I'm going to say, Holy Spirit, I just invite you and declare grace over the conversation. I ask for favor in the eyes of these people. I ask that you turn this around. And even though I'm frustrated because I'm not getting the response that I want, I'm not getting what I deserve, quote unquote, I'm not getting the outcome, and I'm getting passed off or delayed or misinformation, I had the invitation to choose to partner with peace and declaring things over the situation. I did that. I get off the call. Lord, I thank you for grace. I declare favor. And the very things that they said, well, this can't happen, this won't happen, you're not going to get this. I get off. I said, Lord, I thank you that I have favor. I think you're going to turn this around. And I was choosing to partner and declare with my words, life and death are in the power of the tongue, and they that love us shall eat the fruit thereof. I was declaring my words, truth over those situations. And as it plays out, everything began to flip, and I began to get exactly what I was hoping to get out of the situation. Well, a full refund, reimbursement of what I had paid originally. I believe that's significant for you right now in the seasons you guys are in. That the irritating conversations, the things that people did, and you're like, great, now this is going to happen. What you agree with, you empower. If you believe that that's what's going to happen, you're going to start seeing the outcome. But if you begin to declare grace, peace, love, turning around the situation. Lord, I pray for favor. Lord, even though this happened, I'm believing that, God, you're going to turn this around. I'm believing blessing. I'm believing for a tenfold return. God, I'm declaring that this person walks in peace, that I just declare divine order, praying and declaring over your staff members that are causing chaos. Lord, I thank you that they walk in peace. I thank you that they walk in divine order. I thank you they walk in unity of heart. And you're not getting caught up in the emotion of frustration, but you're partnering with the heart of God over them and declaring those things. And I believe you're going to see things shift. You're going to see, you're partnering with those things, you're agreeing with them, and you're powering into the situation.